Hey guys, this is Skylar. I am completely blind. I am autistic and I have a chronic heart condition. Today I'm going to be talking about flu shots, but also like what goes into that. Because I'm neurodivergent, getting a flu shot, might seem like a mundane errand to you, like maybe taking out the garbage or something, just something that you have to do. But for me, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking because it's not so much the needle that I'm afraid of, it's the commands. Because most of the time, the druggist will say, like, relax or take a deep breath or something. But to a neurotypical mind, that's fine. But if you're neurodiverse, your brain doesn't really work. Your brain is not wired to accept that as a cue to relax. It's just not the way our brain works. So, I'm going to tell you what happened and what I did to prepare for it. So, before my butt even touched the seat of Dad's car, I asked him to get me these. These are icebreakers. I wanted them because the can kind of looks a little bit like a snooze can because it's like flat and round. And even though I don't use any nicotine products because of my health, that's been a special interest of mine since I was a young age. So having something that looks like a snooze can, is like a good treat for afterwards. It's like a reward. We neurodivergent people always need like a treat after a stressful situation. So he remembered the icebreakers, and then I always have my dad say one of my favorite words, like right when I get stuck, because my favorite word makes me relax. When people say favorite words to me right when I'm getting stuck, that helps me to relax more effectively than neurotypical demands. The druggist was kind of rough. Like, I could feel the needle like go, like he went boom and like slammed it in, then he squirted it in, which I don't think he was a bad person, but some people are just rougher than others. But it was not enjoyable. And when he put the bandage on, it actually made me say like shit, because he was like pressing on it real hard. But then once we got into the car, I got to have some of the icebreakers as a treat, because like I said, the can resembles a snooze can. And then with the combination of the treats, and Dad remembered to say a favorite word of mine, it actually was a good, well, I don't want to say good, but as good as it can be experience. Now, people who are in the healthcare professional don't usually know how to understand neurodiverse brains, because for us, when you say relax or take a deep breath, I know that's what you probably were trained in pharmacist school or whatever, but it just doesn't work for neurodiverse brains. If for us, our special interests, things that we are like super obsessed with, are also our self-regulating strategies. We're calmest when we're engaged in our special interests. So for me, when you say a Slayer word of mine, that's like a shortcut to relaxation. It's like hitting one or two keystrokes on a computer, compared to if you tell me to relax, which is like you would have to reprogram a whole entire block of software. Or telling me to relax or deep breath is like, it's like telling me to download an app that doesn't really work for my operating system. So that's why I had Dad say one of my favorite words. But this druggist was actually good, because even though he was kind of impersonable and rough, he didn't give me any of those unhelpful cues. Also, the example I gave with the icebreaker can, that's an example of what is in the psychological world called autistic associative thinking. That's when we think of something that might seem unrelated to you and compare it to, or makes us think of something else. Like, even though these two products are unrelated, this icebreakers can makes me think of a snooze can because it's shaped like flat and round, which is the way that a snooze can is shaped. So even though they're not exactly the same, it makes me think of it. So it kind of brings back it's like a shortcut to a special interest of mine. So, and even though you might think of getting a shot as just a mundane errand, we view it as, kind of potentially nerve-wracking because of the unhelpful commands that well-meaning neurotypicals often give. So that's why we have to have treats and things to cheer us back up afterwards. And I always bring a kit with things that help me cope with me. I bring it on me, actually. So, yeah. I just think that people in the healthcare professionals would try to understand neurodiverse brains and the way our brains are wired, and experiences like flu shots or stuff like that would be more smooth. I'm not going to say pleasurable, because it's not going to be pleasurable, but be more smooth. It's also, like cameras. I have a fear of cameras, but it's because people oftentimes tell you smile or cheese or something, but that doesn't work for me either. Only my favorite words make me smile. So, like, if you say one of my favorite words to me, it will make me smile. But if you tell me cheese or anything like that, it doesn't work. So, hopefully you enjoy this video, and God bless you.